this video, I will be reading you one of the classic Brothers Grimm fairy tales, and it's called Rumpelstiltskin. Rumpelstiltskin. In a certain kingdom once lived a poor miller who had a very beautiful daughter. She was moreover exceedingly shrewd and clever, and the miller was so vain and proud of her that he one day told the king of the land that his daughter could spin gold out of straw. Now, this king was very fond of money, and when he heard the miller's boast, his avarice was excited, and he ordered the girl to be brought before him. Then he led her to a chamber where there was a great quantity of straw, gave her a spinning wheel, and said, "All this must be spun into gold before morning, as you value your life." It was in vain that the poor maiden declared that she could do no such thing. The chamber was locked, and she remained alone. She sat down in one corner of the room and began to lament over her hard fate, when all on a sudden the door opened, and a droll-looking little man hobbled in and said, "Good morrow to you, my good lass. What are you weeping for?" "Alas," answered she, "I must spin this straw into gold, and I know not how." "What will you give me," said the little man, "to do it for you?" "My necklace," replied the maiden. He took her at her word and sat himself down to the wheel. Round about it went merrily, and presently the work was done, and the gold all spun. When the king came and saw this, he was greatly astonished and pleased, but his heart grew still more greedy of gain, and he shut up the poor miller's daughter again with a fresh task. Then she knew not what to do, and sat down once more to weep. But the little man presently opened the door and said, "What will you give me to do your task?" "The ring on my finger," replied she. So her little friend took the ring and began to work at the wheel, till by the morning all was finished. The king was vastly delighted to see all this glittering treasure, but still he was not satisfied, and took the miller's daughter into a yet larger room and said, "All this must be spun tonight, and if you succeed, you shall be my queen." As soon as she was alone, the dwarf came in and said, "What will you give me to spin gold for you this third time?" "I have nothing left," said she. "Then promise me," said the little man, "your first little child when you are queen." "That may never be," thought the miller's daughter, and as she knew no other way to get her task done, she promised him what he asked, and he spun once more the whole heap of gold. The king came in the morning, and finding all he wanted, married her, and so the miller's daughter really became queen. At the birth of her first little child, the queen rejoiced very much, and forgot the little man and her promise. But one day he came into her chamber and reminded her of it. Then she grieved sorrowly at her misfortune, and offered him all the treasures of the kingdom in exchange, but in vain, till at last her tears softened him, and he said, "I will give you 3 days' grace, and if during that time you tell me my name, you shall keep your child." Now the queen lay awake all night, thinking of all the odd names that she had ever heard, and dispatched messengers all over the land to inquire after new ones. The next day the little man came, and she began with Timothy, Benjamin, Jeremiah, and all the names she could remember. But to all of them he said, "That's not my name." The second day she began with all the comical names she could hear of: Bandy-legs, Hunchback, Crookshanks, and so on. But the little gentleman still said to every one of them, "That is not my name." The third day came back one of the messengers and said, "I can hear of no one other name, but yesterday, as I was climbing a high hill among the trees of the forest, where the fox and the hare bid each other good night, I saw a little hut, and before the hut burned a fire, and round about the fire danced a funny little man upon one leg and sang, 'Merrily the feast I'll make, today I'll brew, tomorrow bake. Merrily I'll dance and sing, for next day will a stranger bring. Little does my lady dream, Rumpelstiltskin is my name.'" When the queen heard this, she jumped for joy, and as soon as her little visitor came and said, "Now, lady, what is my name?" "Is it John?" she asked. "No." "Is it Tom?" "No." "Can your name be Rumpelstiltskin?" "Some witch told you that, some witch told you that," he cried, and dashed his right foot in a rage so deep into the floor that he was forced to lay hold of it with both hands to pull it out. Then he made the best of his way off, while everybody laughed at him for having had all his trouble for nothing. And then, for some reason, there's an illustration for the Frog Prince, which is neither this fairy tale nor the next. So, this was the story of Rumpelstiltskin. Poor little guy. He did all the work, and she didn't even care to learn his name. Oh well. I hope you had fun. If you did, please consider subscribing, maybe giving this video a like, and join me next time in my fairy tale corner. My name is Leander, and until next time, make the best of it.